Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Musings. I'm your host, Brian. I have been on a dry week for an entire week. Till today. It went well. Dry weeks are important. As always, you gotta check in, and since I drink whiskey as a thing, it's good to stop every once in a while. That reminds me, I have something to do that I don't want to forget. There's my phone. I won't forget. There's something else I'm supposed to go now that the dry week ends, and it has to do with my patrons. They know. If you don't know, then clearly you're not a patron of mine, which you can do. Link below. With that, we know how the music is. Volume. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hopefully everything sounds good. Please remember thumbs. Bleh. I don't want to call them donations. If you'd like to help support the channel, the links are in the chat. I think I've covered everything. Oh wait, there's a flight. I forgot. So we will do... There you go. Ba-boom. It's almost like I prepared that in advance. Strange. So I believe... See, I'm not 100% sure on all this. This is from when I won, strangely enough, the one of the Stuff and Whiskey raffle rewards, and I got it from this guy, I think, because I have this sticker. And the Warehouse B Social Club 2020. What a time to start a social club when no one could be social at all. Fun. Anywho, point is, I have a flight in front of me. I have an answer key in an envelope. As you can see, it is unopened. Unopened. Oh. Don't let me forget I put it here. Put it there. And this is Lucky 7? Lucky 7 Spirits, I believe. Let me refresh my memory. I know it is. Lucky 7 Spirits. I don't know much about it, but I do know I've seen the bottle. So people have talked about this whiskey before, and they've said good things. I just don't remember when or where or who. So, no big deal. No big deal. I see chats happening, but I can't see it because something's in the way. Why is this a thing? Weird. Why is this not showing anything? Wow, we're having a day. We're having a day. We are having a day. So I see chat is happening, but for whatever reason, this poll of mine is in the way, which is unfortunate. I think I saw 5 fingers. Usually 5 fingers is 0. So if that's true, there it is. High five. Top Dog. Hey. All Lucky 7. God damn it. Hold on. We've got 6 votes. So I'm not going to end the poll just yet. I want to, because for whatever reason it's in my way. Weird. We're having some weirdness with the chat. Super weirdness. There we go. That was weird. Okay, whatever. So anyhow, I couldn't see chat rolling. I thought I was talking to myself for a minute there. But I'm not. Hi, thanks. Thanks for being here with me tonight. And I hope you are well. It's Friday. It's frickin' Friday. Finally Friday. But... as I was saying, Top Dog, I saw you. God damn it, scroll up. Technical difficulties, folks. Don't worry about it. So I see Zenboot, I see Scott Moody, I see Hangin' AZ. I saw Top Dog, but my chat was being weird and not showing me everything. And Pop KillCo's here. Hi, Dad. How are you? I know you had something going on today. I can only assume it was awful. Top Dog, I saw you, but I can't scroll all the way up. What the hell? Something favorite is the holiday. That's all I can see. I don't know why it's not scrolling further up. I see a robot thing. Hold on. Copy. We're starting off great. That doesn't help. All the Lucky 7s are so good. My favorite is the holiday. Alright. Well, I don't know which is which. So thank you, Top Dog, for telling me something. It's been 5 minutes already. How did that happen? 5 minutes can feel like forever sometimes. Point is, I need a new chair. 40s this morning. Yeah, it's cold. Not really. I can go out with a t-shirt and be fine. So here we are. We have A. We have B. We have B. You can't see, but it says B on it. C, B. C. I have it turned towards me, so I know what the hell they are. They all look really similar. Like, I have no... There's nothing here that's giving me a tell of what's up with how delicious these are. Excuse me, neighbors. Shut it. You're noisy. Call them neighbors like they're neighborly. Whatever that means. D. And in front of me are the 4 glasses. I'm going to start pouring. I haven't had any whiskey yet. Excuse me. I have had some beer, and I drank it too quickly. Because I needed to get ready for the stream and drink some water and do all the things and be professional. But now we shall get started. And begin. So I am breaking my whiskey non-drinkiness for the past week with you guys, because I thought it seemed like a good idea. I was very tempted to have something immediately. It's new and I need a drink. I kind of did that. I went to a local brewery that I like going to, and I picked up a 4-pack, chit-chatted with the guy behind the bar for a little bit. It was lovely. It was especially lovely because I was doing physical activity this morning. It was quite painful. Not too painful. Just painful enough. Friday painful. Does that make sense? I think it does. You know, you go to work on Friday and you're like, oh, why? Because you know once it's done, but it feels like forever. Don't mind me. I am just pouring the samples out and I'm eyeballing it, which is certainly a safe thing to do. I'm thinking about half an ounce to an ounce-ish. But if they're all an ounce, I will have a problem. Since I have not drank anything in quite a bit. But since I'm a som, I gotta know where to stop. I'm testing. At least I'm testing it out on myself first. All right, A, B, C, D. Working. You get the general idea. This is A, B, C, D. They're not lined up perfectly. However, the thing I did just for you. Better appreciate this. Because if these don't come off, I'm gonna be so annoyed. When I lift up my glass, you can see there's an A on it. So you know what it is without me saying anything. I picked up a Glencairn, immediately went towards my nose. All right. So we begin. I don't know why I did that. Again, we've looked at the color. They all look very similar. I feel like this one's a little darker. That could just be because it's in the glass now, but I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's got a little more reddish hue. You can tell even in the camera there. There is a slight difference with the first one. And I think the B, C, and D all look very similar as far as the color goes. See that? If anything, maybe D there. Maybe D is a little darker as well. So that's interesting. A clue. Not really. There's no really guessing here. I just know that where they're from, and I'm going to try them and try to figure out which one I like best. Thus, the poll. If you haven't seen, the poll is up. You can guess along with me because it's a guess for me. At the moment, it looks like people are going with B. 8 votes so far. So if you want to vote, do it. I'm going to keep it up until I'm done trying them all. That seems the only fair way to do it. Now, we begin with the nose of A. Ooh. Oh. Is that a clean glass? There's a slight cherry note to the first one. The word mahogany went through my mind, which... A wood. It smells like some kind of wood, probably oak, but... thought mahogany instead. Odd. There's an alcohol ding, but I'm not sure if that's because there's actually an alcohol ding or because I haven't had any whiskey in a week. So I haven't had the alcohol experience in a minute. My main concern is actually the burn, since I haven't had it in a while. I haven't had any whiskey in a while. Why is this not moving? God damn it. Top Dog, thank you. Top Dog, look. I did a thing just for you. There he is. Since I'm not extra large, that was my best bet. I was like, well, I still want to have it around for some reason. And since it's not going to fit me anytime soon, ever, I hope. Jesus. Holiday toast. Holiday toast sounds delightful. Alright, chat. Will you continue to scroll down so I don't have to guess here? Mr. Great Shot, hello, cheers. I don't know when you said anything, but here you go. Worksman comps for hangovers as Somm. No. If you're a Somm, you learn not to get a hangover. And I don't mean like a secret. I mean you have to. Alcohol, of course, as all of you know, can. What's the word I want to say here? What is the phrase that would sound best? It's a depressant for one, and it changes your mood, and it lowers your inhibitions. So you have to kind of click as to where you're starting to feel like your inhibitions are being lowered a little bit more than they should. Not in a bad way. Just in a, I'm going to jump on top of a table, take off my shirt, and chug out of the bottle. Might, if that thought crosses your mind, you got to be there going, nah, not a good idea. Not tonight. Maybe drink some water instead. For me, I actually get feeling up here in the front where I start to feel weird after a few drinks. And that's when I know to chill out. Alcohol can F you up. It's done it to me plenty of times. No. That's really what I want to tell to people. It's like, take care of yourself. Because most of us haven't at one point in our lives. And it's not a good idea. It doesn't feel good. You might feel good at the time. But you don't. What you feel is less, because again, alcohol is a depressant. Patent pending hanging easy. I hope so. Just not being extra large. Get a shirt and just put it over your chair. Good to go. Woo, whiskey. Woo, exactly. All right, going to B. That's a plus. They both smell very similar. This one's a little different. So is a cherry note. Ooh, it's making me thirsty. Both of them. Yeah, they both have a nice sweet. Not quite caramel. What is it? What kind of note is that? It's a sweet note. Maybe, not like actual caramel, the candies, but maybe like caramel syrup that you put on ice cream with a little tinge of vanilla. Oh my gosh, I need ice cream. I quit beer for whiskey, really don't get out of control. Yeah, again, I have learned that, well, I haven't learned, but my opinion? Ugh. My thoughts, that sounds better. My thoughts on alcohol misuse is you got to take care of yourself. No one else is going to do it. So when you're drinking, before you even start, you have to have the mentality of, I'm going to take care of myself tonight. And not, I'm going to get trashed. Because that doesn't feel good. And as someone who has alcohol problems in the family and has had a misuse of alcohol plenty of times when I was younger, up until my mid-30s. Like after I started learning more about whiskey and getting into whiskey, I learned don't drink it too fast and don't drink too much, or you will be hurting so much. Clonic Kilty and a maple stout. Oh, Zenbu, that sounds good. Yeah, Zenbu did a whole dried month. Huh. I don't know if I want to do that, but that's also because I have a YouTube channel that is based around whiskey. I've already taken quite a bit of time where I'm off, but I was still drinking and being on streams occasionally. I had some beer today. That was what I started with, as far as alcohol to start with today. Take a bottle away. This is my tell right here. Like this much. I have to drink that much in the time that I'm drinking everything else. And then I have to have another after about 2 or 3 of them. Stuff and whiskeys. Hello. Welcome. I haven't seen you here in a while. Where have you been? No. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. As you can tell, I'm on the sea here. This one was put on slanted. They're all very similar. The King Ranch. Mr. Great Shot, yes. Okay, do you want a sample? Yes. Always, even though I have dozens of samples in front of me still, including these 4. I need to get on it. Yeah, hang it easy. We all have our own methods of dealing with it. They're all very nice. I'm not detecting anything strictly different, so I don't know if anything was done different to these, other than they might be in different releases. They could be all the same thing, and I would never know, but I don't think that was the theme of the evening for these samples. The cherry note I don't get the cherry note with this one right now. There's something else. Walnut? I don't know if I've ever said walnut. Brownies. What I like about whiskey personally, especially coming back to it, is the way it affects your mind. Not drinking it. Like, just when you're going through the nosing process. For me, at least, there's always this, like, it's visual. Like, I don't see it, but I have a thought. You know, you have a thought of something fly through your head, and you kind of have to catch it, or at least see it. Like, mentally, see it. And for that, it was a brownie. I don't know why, but also I visualized brownies in my mind, and oh my god, I want a brownie. I have cookies. Cookies are going to be good. I don't have brownies, but I have cookies. And milk. Very important. No drinks before 6 p.m. also helps keep things down to a dull roar, yes. Hand deliver a few. All right. Tweet. You know, part of me was like, oh, you're actually going to hand deliver it. I mean, yes, hand delivery, of course. What was I thinking? Thanks, sir. You never have to do that. I do appreciate it, though. Give it to me as a blind. I actually really like doing blind flights because it's just... I have no idea. And I hope none of it's bleach because that would be a problem. The terror of taking samples from others. It's like, someone could really screw with me. One of these could be my lord. No. God damn it. My clean glassware always gives me shit. I honestly don't have any strict rules about not drinking. But there's the basics of like what kind of drink I probably will drink during when. You know, generally speaking, I don't drink whiskey at freaking 8 a.m. However, every once in a while, you know, Irish coffee at home. It's pretty sweet. I might have one of those tomorrow. It sounds delightful. Especially for autumn, weirdly enough. Or hot chocolate. Works with hot chocolate, too. But that's not the norm. If I'm doing that every morning, there's a problem. Hey, guys, you got to 70 here. I don't know what's happening, but for this weekend and Monday, it's supposed to be around 70 degrees, which is choice for me. Sweet potato shine. Uh-oh. This one's giving a cookie note, like chocolate chip cookies. So I'm getting a cherry note on some, a chocolate note on others. One was more wood forward, like I got wood/oak. But for whatever reason, I thought mahogany. And I don't even know what mahogany smells like. Not exactly. I probably should know what that smells like, come to think of it. I miss doing this. Weirdly enough. I think Whiskey Mountain said it's actually snowing where she is, which is mind-boggling, but... Taters. All of these smell delightful. Like none of them have made me go, oh god, why? Which is good, because that's no fun for me. But also, Here's my thing with whiskey. Learning. Learning? What a horrible word. Learning is... I don't know what I was talking about. Learning? Learning to remember would be good. Nosing. I honestly forgot what I was talking about. I haven't had a sip of anything. Nosing? If Chat could help me out, because I don't remember what I was just saying. Unless you weren't listening either. And that's valid, because I also was not listening, it seems. My mind went sideways for a second, and then I tried to come back, and there was a no entry sign. The road closed. I was saying these are all delightful. Oh, I got it. It was... with whiskey, if you don't like one, if you find a whiskey you do not like, then you know you don't like that specific one, and you can use that in the future. I still haven't quite figured out what I dislike about some Scotch. I think it's a malt thing, or it's a sherry thing. I'm not sure, but I'm fairly sure. I'm not 100% certain, but it feels like certain malt processes or certain type of malting and just the making of the whiskey get weird for me. It's a bit moving. I have to make sure Chat is moving because it's acting up today. Anyway, not knowing what you don't like is good because that means someone else is going to find something they do like. So if they like something you don't like, more for them. All the better. Like if people just didn't like Buffalo Trace, I'd be so happy. Stupid Buffalo Trace being expensive. It's a peat thing. Yeah, Mr. Great Shot, you just haven't had a peat whiskey you like. You've had some peated whiskey. But there's the possibility there's one that you might enjoy. I say that specifically because my friend Greg doesn't like peated stuff. He had a bad experience with one to start out. And surprisingly, one of the samples I sent him that was slightly peated, he liked. Threw me off completely. I was not ready for him to like it. I was like, oh god, he's going to hate it. He didn't love it. But he definitely didn't hate it like he does other stuff. Driftless Glen Rye Mash and Drum Pick. Oh, Mash and Drum Pick. Sugar Kitty sent me. Oh lord, it tasted like sweet tobacco, vanilla, and oak. So dang good. Sugar Kitty, first of all, where are you? And second of all, where are my samples? How dare you? Sugar Kitty's probably taking it easy, so. More samples. Oh, I do apologize. I'm not doing a sample giveaway tonight, but I can only focus on so many things at once. And although it's not completely horribly difficult, I'm trying to keep up with Chat and everyone who is donating, supporting the channel in the way they do. Oh, hold on. I saw something and it didn't register. Tony Two Toes, cheers. Happy Friday indeed. What was that? My brain stopped working for a moment there, and it just threw everything off. Oh yes, Tony Two Toes flights, Abrise. I still have them. They're right there. I don't remember what I thought. That's why I made a video. Drink the whiskey, Brian. Okay. Woof. Ooh. Oh, wow. I'm going to say this. I don't know what the proof is, but it feels like it's a bit up there. At least 50%. Maybe a little more. But also, I haven't had any whiskey for a week, so that could be 40%, and I would not know. But from my palate is telling me it is more than that. When I'm listening to my palate. It's good. I'm trying to figure out exactly what happened there. I was a little too worried about the fact that it was going to be alcohol. And my brain went, no! Not again. There were actual chocolate notes. I don't know exactly what I thought, because my brain, again, just went, what the hell, not this stuff again. Wow. The poison is back! Yes. So I'll try one more sip. That was the quick sip. I'll hold this one on the tongue. As if you've watched my videos, you know my habit, we'll say, for tasting whiskey is to take a sip, let it happen, and take another sip and hold down the palate just slightly and just kind of move it around a little bit. That call of the palate. That's what I was told to do, and it seems to work. Redwood Empire cast strength yet? No, but I want it. I mean, I don't really want it. I'm just curious now, and I want it. Okay, here we go. Beautiful spices. Not too aggressive. Then it gets dry. That was like a wave. It's good stuff. Yeah, that was a spicy wave. Because I had a sip. It went, as most whiskeys do, bourbon. That's what I think it is. My assumption is it's bourbon, just for the record. If it's not, oh well. But it definitely tastes like bourbon. And it's a glide. Like the start of it gets really spicy. You get these wonderful... I'm thinking gingerbread cookies, like gingerbread men cookies, because there's the gingerbread and then there's that sweet frosting that's on them to make them look like, faces. And it's pretty intense at first. But again, haven't had whiskey for a week. Don't know what's going to happen here. And then it fades out and then it comes back. Like you watch my face with what just happened. I was like, well, that's really... hello! And then it goes away, and then it turns a little dry. And then it just fades. The mouth feels pretty good, too. You can still, feel it. Mark Emmernicker, always go with the D. You would say that. And you're probably not wrong. If you don't like the D, well, I'll tell you. You're not living your life. Whiskey down the breath hole. I didn't do that, thankfully, but... First whiskey after a week of no whiskey, and it's a bit surprising. Of course it should be. If it wasn't, I'd be concerned. On to B. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. I forget the rest. Something and in them, I think. I need to take... Oh, I need water. Water! Water break. Cleanse the palate, if you will. Also, I do have these. They're awesome. They're literally right next to me all the time now. One is for my water, and one is for my other beverage. Whatever that happens to be. Ooh. Cool Runnings using the emojis. And YouTube gets annoyed by that, apparently. Here we go. On to the B. The B. Sorry about the Cool Runnings. I don't know what Nightbot's doing, but I better stop it. You got a warning, apparently. Too many emojis. I like the thumb, tea, coffee, wine, beer, whiskey. All good stuff. It's not to be? Alright. Thank you, Hamlet. I don't know why I know up to that part. Just to be not seeing that as a question. And I think that's even wrong. Like everyone's saying to be or not to be. But I could be wrong about that. I don't remember. I find a lot of random info on the internet, and sometimes it makes sense, and sometimes it doesn't. And I see, they don't like the T word either. Alright, B is not as intense. It's still nice and spicy. It gives me a little brown sugar, sweet brown sugar, cinnamon toast vibe with maple syrup. But it's not as intense as A. And again, it could just be that A is the first whiskey I had in a week. This one, the finish lasts longer though. Like noticeably, it's just kind of there. Hello. It looks like, I don't know if it's 3, but that, yeah, thank you. Ooh, we have a mod. Zendude, thank you. I assume that's you. If it's just emoji, as long as it's not anything offensive, it's fine. And even offensive things, I don't mind that much, but YouTube does, because the overlords are watching always. Mark, you're okay for the moment. That would be funny. Since most of those looks like YouTube emojis, they're not flagging it at all. SIA Scotch? Gimme. Going on to C. Right. If there's one thing I can tell about nosing whiskeys especially, is when the glass is clean. That's fun. That's a good talent. I've missed you all. Also, I've missed all of you. Believe it or not. Still good. More vanilla. Not half as much spice. Slight honey or caramel sweetness. It lingers. It's not dry. It's lingering. Okay, there we go. There's that. Interesting. So to my brain at the moment, A was intense and spicy, B was a little tamer, and C is about the same as B, except just slightly less, because it's not aggressive, it's more sweet. It's focusing on sweet, while B is more middle of the road as far as bourbons go. Three dabs don't do it, I don't know what will. You win the emoji battle. Pretty much, Mark. That's how you do it. I think it's because most of those were YouTube emojis, and they're fine with their emojis being spammed. That's okay. Just don't spam emojis. Perfumey. A little too flowery, a little too, like, artificial perfume. That can happen. Or, older person's type of perfume, maybe. You know what I mean? Which I'm sure many of us do. Yeah, nice. It's tall. Isaiah's V, yes. My dry week ended at noon as of today. And I went from last Friday at noon to this Friday at noon. And I think, a little bit before. I like the at noon because I don't always drink in the morning. So really the whole day. I could have had a drink in the morning and been fine. Because it's over. And I don't really celebrate that it's over other than doing a stream. Because it wasn't really like I had to do anything. I got to bed earlier. That's what happened. I wasn't staying up late drinking. Oh, that's the other key for me. Well, we were talking about taking care of yourself and drinking whiskey. And part of that is for my sleep being absolutely atrocious. As far as having enough of it or having it make me recover enough for the next day. If I drink alcohol at night before I go to bed, my sleep is so much worse. And it's just not rested sleep. It's just... There's alcohol in my system, it's not as good of a sleep. So keeping those too far apart has been my latest thing. And in that case, I usually have to stop by 10 or 11. I know, I'm a party animal, right? And then I can go to sleep by midnight. Which is something I don't particularly like saying, but 12 or 1 in the morning is when I seem to get the best kind of sleep time-wise. Even though my body's like, oh, you've had 6 hours, you can wake up now. No! Stop it! On to D. The D, as we'll call it. I'm surprised by the nose of all these. They're very, very similar, and there are only slight differences. I told you, Top Dog. I pointed it out earlier. I'm not an extra large, and I'm not going to be ever. If I am, I don't know. That's bad. So, this seemed like it worked. I got a little pooch, little doggo, little Top Dog behind me. Welcome back, Top Dog. It's free advertisement, basically. Every time I get up or move around, it's like, oh, look. There's a dog behind him. D does have a slightly better nose than B and C. Ooh. Ooh. Daylight savings, yep. That one was completely different. It was spicy at first. It made me think of charcoal, or no. I thought charcoal, and then that went over to Oreo cookies because of the dark color. Don't ask me why that makes sense. But Oreo cookie is more in line with what this was like, but the spices were ramped up a bit. But they were rounded off. That makes sense? Makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you. But the spices weren't spiky. They were more sensual. So they didn't punch quite the same, but they were... I'm trying to think. Maybe some kind of baked good. Like the perfectly made baked good. I can't think of a good example. I'll have a little more. Just check. It's an official drinking chair, guys. D is mighty. Yeah, it's not more aggressive, but it's got more going on. Very spicy. But still, the spice kicks up a little, but it never gets spiky. It stays smooth. And we are talking of the basic baking spices of cinnamon, no nutmeg, cinnamon brown sugar, vanilla. But there's something else. It's that chocolate note. It's not milk chocolate, though. It's like a certain degree of a darker chocolate. Corrunning, what are you doing? It's fine, I don't care, but YouTube hates it. I mean, it's named Nightbot, so... Is that this weekend? Shit. I'm not paying attention to that. Maybe someone added me. I completely blanked out on what I was looking at. Sorry, looking at phone. Rude? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's important that I verify everything. Yeah, daylight savings in the 6th. Well, shit. Thankfully, we live in an age where I don't really have to deal with that, except for my microwave and my stove. Slackers. I have to change those manually. Nightbot was just there waiting for you. Yeah, there's a lot more I can do with Nightbot. I just don't. I don't know how. I could find out. I could learn. I could try to educate myself, but I'm tired, so no. Ugh. Alright, going on to A again. Going around one more time. I got 20 minutes left. If I'm going to do this an hour, and I'm feeling like I'm going to do that. Because it's not a giveaway. Giveaway streams are always longer, because more time for people to enter. And I think, well, I have no idea. Someone's probably going on live after me. It used to be the Bourbon Wrench. It probably still is. If I don't pay attention to other channels, because I don't have the patience. Can't be distracted by everything. My thought process on my channel is I will do what I want when I want. That's it. I can only worry about this channel and not everybody else. I will be respectful to everyone else when they're doing stuff, but also, if I'm doing stuff, I'm going to do my stuff. I think of it as, if I didn't know anything about other channels, I'll just do what I want when I want. And for the most part, I'm trying to keep some regularity with Fridays, Maybe Sundays, but no guarantees. Because sometimes Fridays, I go to Irene's store. A is less spicy now. Still pretty damn spicy. Nope, there it is. That's wild. It gets spicy, then it tones down a little bit, and then it gets spicy again. And then it starts to taper off. The flavors aren't as pronounced as I thought they'd be, other than the spice notes. And a slight bit of sweetness. I could have just obliterated my sweetness sensors on my tongue somehow, but I don't think so. More spice than sweet, with might mean it's got a certain percentage of rye? Maybe? I'm curious. I don't know what their mash bill is. I don't know anything. All I know is what their bottles look like, and I have a vague idea of what their theme is. And I've heard good things. None of these are blowing my mind. D was pretty interesting. And if it's going to be I like the D, I'm okay with that, honestly. I have no problem with that. Whichever one of these ones I'm going to like, I'm going to like. And right now, my feeling is A and D. That's wild. These are all the same place. Yet between A and B, there's a blatantly obvious difference. Not as spicy, more sweet, different mouthfeel. Still good. I haven't really gotten the serious burn, have I? I didn't notice that. Other than the first sip, which was, of course it's going to be a little jarring. Yeah, no serious burn at the moment. Yay. That's a good thing. I hate that feeling. Also, winter is coming, in case you didn't know. Winter is coming. Teaser. Don't tell anyone else about this. They're not allowed to know. Oh. Damn you, lighting. Mortlock. 15-year. What? 6 Kingdoms, baby. Look at it. It's beautiful. Thank you, Cliff Smith, by the way. That is the final Scotch in the Game of Thrones collection, which you can still see back there, that I will be opening up at some point in the not too distant future. I don't know when. Leave me alone. But weirdly enough, that the freaking Game of Thrones thing should come around again. I mean, hell, I could start talking about all those whiskeys at some point, because Game of Thrones is the thing again. I don't know if it's good or bad. I haven't watched any of it. But there's a Game of Thrones thing again. Ouch. Light and floral. What do you say, Mr. Greyshot? Light and floral has to be feminine? I mean, it's definitely usually goes that way, but you should have flowers around. They're beautiful. Still a Scotch drinker, Top Dog? Well, or not a Scotch drinker. Words. You have to try them all, though. Otherwise, you're never going to know for sure. I'm on C again. Sorry, I was covering it. C. Really? Shouldn't have said anything. Not too bad, just noticeable. I guess that's a Kentucky hug, where it just kind of went, wah! It wasn't just here, it spread out. I felt it in my lungs. Whoa. Whole chest. Whew. Good stuff. But B and C are more similar than A and D are. That's the feeling I'm getting right now. B and C, while still good, are not as spicy, and they're moving towards more sweet notes in general. Like, again, the vanilla spices and the basic Scotch notes you would Scotch. bourbon notes you would assume to get from a bourbon, which is usually vanilla, not always cinnamon, vanilla, brown sugar, and what's usually the third one? Vanilla, brown sugar, maybe a little cinnamon, something spicy. I haven't baked in a while, so I'm not quite sure what they all are. An egg. No, that's not right. That's not a spice. Going back to the D. I can already feel it working, by the way. This is why it's only an hour stream tonight. I'll probably pour the rest of these together just for the lulls. Mm-hmm. Whew. Yep. D has got some elbows to it. It's walking in and just like, excuse me, pardon me, on my way. Caramel, yes, Mark Emmerdecker, but I don't think of that as a baking spice. It's a sweet note, absolutely. So, I usually think of actually vanilla and caramel. Like sweeter notes like that, because I think of vanilla ice cream, caramel syrup on top. Oh my god. Give it to me. General baking spices that I think of are cinnamon, brown sugar, and that's not even a spice, it's sugar. But, cinnamon, brown sugar, some people say nutmeg. I don't usually get that. Oak is definitely one that pops up all the time. Or a wood note, at the very least. Again, the first time I had A, I thought mahogany, which didn't make sense at all, but what else is new? Alright, I only got, less than 15 minutes left. So let's open up our secret giveaway key. Lucky 7 giveaway key. That was the To Write Love on Her Arm. Wait, over here. To Write Love on Her Arms. That was the charity that was... Yeah. I'll have another. It's fine. A charity event for Stuff and Whiskey. That's what that means. To write love on her arms. Can't get it off. Why? I used my feet to pick that up. You couldn't see. Got it. Whoops. Ooh. Like that. I'm gonna break that someday. There we go. Just in case I didn't know who sent it. How about that one? There we go. Nothing else? Except the cocaine. No. There's no cocaine in it. If there was, you would know, because I have it all on my face now. It's in handwriting. I can't read handwriting. Oh! Well, that was nice, though. So I don't know what they are yet, but here's a picture. Look at it. It's been, so you can see the bottles. I'm not looking. I'm looking, well, not, I'm looking but not looking. I'm looking to make sure it's actually being visible. So, we got A. They're all Lucky 7, clearly. Ah! Oh, I didn't say which one I like the best. It's a toss-up between A and D. I'll put them together. I haven't read anything. I know what the first one is. Ah, Top Dog, thank you. Cool. I knew you both were connected somehow, but I didn't know exactly how. It was very confusing. I'm like, I thought Top Dog sent it. I have the shirt, and then all this other stuff was in here. What's going on? And what is Warehouse B? Can I be part of the club? Yeah. Ooh. Alright, that was A. I just had to sip up. I'm going to D now. I haven't drank any water. Scheiße. There you go. Alright, that's your picture. Sure, Kitty, hello. We were just talking about you. I have to rewatch the whole thing to find out when. Alright, there was water still in my mouth because of that. It didn't taste quite the same. Sugar, don't worry about it, Sugar. You know what? I know everyone's rooting for the D, because we all like the D, as you know. Aha! There you go. Oh, Mr. Grisha, thank you. Appreciate that. I'll see it when I see it. Well, of course, that was I'm looking at the right screen. Thank you, sir. But thank you. I was like, did you? Okay, cool. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Mr. Great Shot. It does help the channel and helps everyone else I know. In some weird way. They put up with me. All right, here we go. I'm leaning towards A more than the others. D is very good and interesting, but it's intense. It's not the type of whiskey I would drink in a way that I would just enjoy it, because it kind of, every sip it goes, bourbon. That's what I get from D. While A is the more, how do I put this? It's not as aggressive, and it's still spicy, and it's still sweet. It has that wild little spicy, not as spicy thing. And then a dry finish, which I kind of like a dry finish, only because it makes me want to have another sip. That's how they get you. Not too oak forward. Viscosity is just right. The mouthfeel is just right. While B and C are both good, it's noticeable for me that they aren't quite the same texture as A and D are. And I can be a texture-ish person. Like a good detail, but there's certain things I can't eat because they feel really weird. Like Jell-O. I can't really eat Jell-O because I don't know how to deal with it. And tapioca, those things in the bottom of those drinks, tapioca balls. No. Blah. The heebie-jeebies. Love description D, and I don't even know what it is. Yeah, it's intense. Here we go. A, they're all Lucky 7. Again, Lucky 7 Spirit stuff. A is the Holiday Toast Batch 4 at 115 proof. So I was right. I was saying, well, seems like it's more than 50%. It definitely was. Lucky 7, the Hold Up 12-year Batch 5, 100 proof. That's B, sorry. Start with that. So A is the Holiday Toast Batch 4. 115 proof. B is Lucky 7, B is the Hold Up 12-year Batch 5, 100 proof. C Lucky 7, the Hold Up 14 years. So the difference between these two is that they're the same thing, like the Hold Up. One's 12 years, one is 14. The batches are different, and they're both 100 proof. And guess what? D, Lucky 7, the Proprietor 14 year. 14 years. Wow, no wonder it's so punchy. Barrel number 7. Ooh, barrel number. 118.6 proof. That's why D is so freaking punchy and aggressive. It's a 14-year-old coming in, throwing elbows at 118.6 proof. And A, which is the one I seem to prefer, is the Holiday Toast Batch 4, 115 proof. Let's close the poll before you start messing with it. End the poll. What did they say? What happened? Mr. Great Shot, that might be the top part where it says top chat and live chat. I don't know if there's a real difference. I just know I don't want top chat. I want to see everything that people are posting. So what the hell? Boba tea. Yes, Sugar Kitty. I can't deal with the stuff in boba tea. It wigs me out. I don't know if I'm supposed to chew it or just swallow it. And if I just swallow it, I feel like I'm going to choke and die. And it's not fun. Bird that flexes smacked you in the mouth, growls, and declares itself awesome. Mark Emanecker? Yes, that is D. That one came in throwing elbows and be like, hey, how you doing? Pfft. Enjoy. Sorry, just looking back at chat, make sure I'm seeing everything. Yeah, live chat. That's the issue that I've seen is, for whatever reason, YouTube defaults to top chat, which means you'll see most of what's being posted, but not everything. And I have to go to live chat just because I have to see everything that's happening. Same bottle as A, pouring it now. Mark Emenicker, lucky you. Excellent. It's delicious, and it had, again, I don't know if it's going to do it for everyone else, but blah, blah, blah. For whatever reason, A has a spice finish, and it chills out, and it comes right back. It's weird. I haven't had many whiskeys of any sort that have had a flow or a wave to them like that. A few, and it's always interesting. It's always like, what the fuck was that? How did that happen? No, Sugar Key, that's even worse. Ah! Fifth Quarter Tailgate, hello. Thai tea with boba? Ooh. See, I like the tea part. Like, I like that kind of interesting tea stuff with the boba, the stuff at the bottom. I've tried it twice. You know, I haven't given it its fair share. I tried again. For the most part, it's just those freaking tapioca balls wig me the fuck out. Don't know why, but they do. That's A. Again, B and C have their place, but it was obvious to my palate, it seems, that I knew they were both lower proof. I know and I say that, they're both 100 proof. That's not low. But for someone like myself who tends to go up from there, and my comfort zone is like 50, 55-ish, I'm usually pretty happy with it. But it was obvious, like so obvious, ridiculously obvious, that B and C were different from A and D. And really it was just the age, I think. I don't know what the holiday toast doesn't say it has an age statement. And again, the holdup is also 14 year. So it had to be the proof, just because these two were 100 proof, and the other two were higher. So 115 and 118.6, which is why it is so punchy. In a good way. Not in a, oh god, too much. But it's not something I can drink casually and comfortably, because I can take a sip of that and then go, what? And then have to wait a few minutes. And then I can have it again. But it's punchy. Woo. Yes. Thank you, Top Dog. I'm glad you agree. That little wild little wave with A. Ah, no. It's such a weird thing. Sorry, I'm wigging out with Sugar Kitty about freaking tapioca balls and Jell-O. Things I just can't deal with as far as eating them goes. All right, Mr. Great Shack. I don't know why I did that. Glad you're good there. I don't know why chat was being weird. Sometimes you just hit the refresh button to see what the hell's happening. Well, this has been delightful. I'm going to drink all of these right now. No, I'm definitely not going to do that. But I think I will pour the rest of A. Because as much as part of me is like, oh, I want to save this one for later. It's the one I like. No, it's the one I like. I'm going to drink it all tonight. Ha ha ha. And then I can have the rest later. It'll probably be a pattern of A, D, C, B. Da 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 da. Bax Bourbon, hello. I know you. You know how much of a pain in the ass this is. It's the one thing people don't understand. Well, okay, hold on. All right. Since there are actually more than 10 people in here, I don't want to shut it down just yet. I will shut it down, but not yet. I don't want to rush things. We got to take our time. We just got back. So I will stick around for a little while longer. Overtime, I believe it's called. Because I just want to hang out and drink some whiskey now. Delightful. Some have proofs over 130, I believe. I think the proprietor or one of these. See, here's the thing. I don't remember what I was looking up. All right, this was a while ago. It was probably last year, for all I know. Bad X, I do work on it every fucking day. I leave it alone sometimes, but good God, trying to get this thing to do what I want. Oh my God, people don't even know. People don't even know. Yeah, a holiday toast. Hold on. Yes, there is. And for me, it went spicy, chilled out, and got spicy again. That's why I like it, because but it's not too aggressive. Like again, D was punchy as hell, but not. It wasn't that punchy. It was punchy enough to be notable, and to make it less of a have a sip, blah, have a sip. That would be have a sip. What? And then 5 minutes later, I could go back to it again. Bad Axe, yes. Absolutely. I'll have to show all of you at some point. My high school senior picture, I had like peach fuzz kind of stuff up here. Little did I know, decades later, I did it on purpose. I don't know why, I just did. Rye old fashioned. Oh, that sounds good. I do find it funny that these are 14 year. Like 2 of these are 14 years, but they're a blatant difference. Other than the good thing is B and C were different to me. I would have no idea that they were above 10 years old. I think they were 10, maybe, but not 12 or 14. That's like anything over 10-year-old bourbon is always a surprise to me. I always think it's going to be too much. These ones aren't. It was weird that B and C were as tame as they were. Oh, I'll go back to them. All right, if you insist. What? Just from the sip, from the initial sip, I can tell there's less. The whole lip's a little dry. Or the first one, the B, is a little drier than I thought. Than I realized. But it's the first sip. It's the weird texture quality, which I do not know how it changes with whiskey, because when you pour a whiskey, it kind of looks the same. But then again, if you look at the legs of any whiskey, all it is the show the alcohol content. And let's see. Nothing's happening. Oh wait, there it is. Sorry, the light is wrong from my end, so I can't see it as well as I want. But this thing it's not even moving, basically. I can see where the legs should be, and it's just sitting there. There we go. Whew. That's a high proof. That's all it tells you. And even then, it might not be correct. Chat, are you moving? I'm still freaking out about the chat. The holiday toast. What I was saying earlier, before I got distracted by my own words, is that I've heard about this. Like, I've heard about the Lucky 7 before. I've seen the bottles specifically being talked about and how someone was saying it was really good. I think it was the Mash and Drum, but I don't know because I haven't watched anything of anyone's really as much anymore. And so that was months ago, very likely. But I think that's where I saw it. I've had that happen a couple times. I just come across something he's talking about and be like, oh, get it. I haven't looked at the picture myself. I showed it to you guys. Let's see what we got. Oh, and okay. I didn't even see that the like the sample glasses are there. It's kind of hard to tell because it's printed. But these right here were the sample glassware I got. It's nice proof that you did that, maybe. But it was the bottle design specifically that I remember. Like you can see those bottles, and they all had this kind of style to them. It's pretty sweet. They wouldn't work in a bar because of how wide they are. Bartenders would be like, nope, get that shit out of here. Put it sideways, maybe. Got the proprietor at the end there. The holiday at the beginning. The holiday is the red one. So it was red, yellow, green, and white. Huh. They're good. I mean, they're all good. There's not one of them that I didn't like, which is a good thing. Because, yes, there are many mustaches here. This is a stereotype. You see a guy with a mustache like mine, he probably drinks whiskey, or at least he has strong opinions about some beverage. Maybe. I don't know. I don't talk to all these people. There are actually very few people I meet who have mustaches, but there are a few. And usually when I meet them, they're pretty cool people. Yeah, mushrooms is another one. Yeah. Sugar Kitty. If you want to find out what stuff wigs me out and makes my skin crawl, it gives me that that unpleasant feeling up the spine. Jello, tapioca, mushrooms. Bad Axe, you let me know. KillCo77@hotmail.com. You just email me and I can start to talk to you. Because if I don't get an email, it won't be part of my mind for a while. Because that's how I work. If it's not something that's right there in front of me, I'll be like, yep, we're going to do that. Weeks later. How am I supposed to do a stream with Bad Axe? I don't know what happened. So let me know when you're available and I'll be available. That's how I work. I try to be available when people can have the time. Going to see again. Yep, okay. Sea is dry. Sea is dry. Notably dry. And that shouldn't surprise me because it's a 14 year. However, Barrel 7 is also, or sorry, the proprietor, someone needs to make a profit whiskey. Oh my god. The proprietor, 14 year, barrel number 7, which I like. 7s always show up in my life. You can say that about anything, but it's funny if you just say it about one thing. So it's 7s for me. Again, lucky 7. Somehow I won the lucky 7 pick of samples. My birthday is July 7th. Strange that. That's all it is. But we have a barrel of 7 on here. It keeps showing up. 7s. Oh, everywhere. And that one's punchy. It's 118. But I don't think it's as dry. Weirdly enough. It's the same time frame, but... I can deal with certain mushroom stuff. Sugar Kitty. Hen of the Woods for the first time this year. Whoa. That sounds terrifying. Mushu pork. We do already have the Evangelist. Yeah, might as well. The Prophet whiskey. Who's going to grab that one? I can just see so many people who have religious leanings go towards that. And that would skeeve me out as well. But I like the name of it. Ow, goddamn. Bad Axe, cheers. Thank you for stopping in. Hopefully we'll chat again soon. Stay out of trouble. I was about to say it doesn't seem as punchy. But I just drank some water, so it shouldn't be. It is a little dry. But for whatever reason, C is more dry. C leaves a very dry finish. D does not. So there's that. Das is good, yeah? Yeah. But what confuses me, a slight bit, we'll go do this for a little bit. See the color on this one? And the color on this one? Like, this one seems darker to me than D. See? I'm sure you can actually see it side by side there without the glare. So this is A and this is D. D is supposed to be 14 years old. So why does this one look darker? That's my curiosity. Because it doesn't have an age statement on the first one. Well, the other ones do. There's a 12-year, a 14-year, and a 14-year. Yet the one that doesn't have an age statement on here, or at least I don't see one, on this, looks darker to me. Yeah, maybe my eyes are just weird. Yeah, it looks a little redder. A little more mahogany colored. And weirdly enough, it came in a red bottle. Like this is the A right there, the red bottle one. Or the red label on the bottle, I should say. The Holiday Toast. It is very good. One of these made me think of French toast, but I don't think it was A. Straight bourbon, straight bourbon, straight bourbon. I'm trying to read the label and having no luck. But I can see where the age statement should be. But I don't actually see an age statement because there's a shadow over it. I don't see a number. Whatever. I just find that peculiar that we have these 4 whiskeys and yet the one without the age statement looks like it's the darkest. Funny that. Ouch. So I'm going to pour all of... Well, we'll do this. Since this is a blind flight, this is A, as you can see, A. Putting A over here. Putting A over here. Now that leaves us with B, C, and D. Or at least what's left in the glass. B, C, and D. I'm going to mix these together for fun. Because I can. So I will take the C glass, or the B glass. I was thinking about the C glass. The B glass is going to be poured into the C glass. And the D glass is going to be poured into the C glass. It's harder to say and think about when you think. All right, here we go. Now, that shows how whiskey can be misleading, because look at that. That is close to 3 ounces of whiskey. It's about 2-ish. But I haven't even added the A into this. So you can imagine how much whiskey I was actually about to drink in total. Yes, Mr. Greatshot, Platinum. The nose is actually sweeter. More caramel. More sugar. Ooh, how is that possible? That was probably something that really pissed someone off, by the way. I assume no one was, but there's likely someone somewhere who saw me pour 2 14-year-old whiskeys with a 12-year-old whiskey just because and got really annoyed. I'm not sorry. I do it again. Mr. Great Shot, that's about 2 ounces to me at least. It's close to 1.5. It's definitely close. But in my eyes, it looks like 2 ounces. And that's because I try to make sure I pour less. So you may be dead on. I know the rule here is about there, is a typical pour of whiskey. But I don't do typical pours of whiskey because it's always less. So it will, for the record, generally speaking, as a pour, if you have a decent Glencairn, an actual Glencairn, right to the middle of the bulb. So this technically could be a standard pour of whiskey, but this is it. This is all you want to have for about 2 hours. As long as you're drinking water. That's right, Mr. Great Shot. And I believe, to paraphrase the rules, the whiskey you like to drink the way you like to drink it. I mean, generally, it should be understood that would be the best way. And if anyone else has opinions about it, they can go to hell. Sorry, negative opinions. Oh. That's really nice. This shouldn't surprise me. It's still spicy, but I guarantee you the two that were lower proof slammed into the one that was... Oh, hello. That felt fun. Once it got down here, it said, "Hi! How are you?" Again, haven't had a whiskey in a week, so we're doing just fine. But it seems like the elbows, the punchiness of the D was tamed down just enough by the other two. Because those are mellower anyway. They didn't have quite the same viscosity. They were lower proof. They didn't hit quite the same. They weren't as spicy. They were more sweet. So it should surprise me that putting those together kind of like balanced out-ish. They didn't flatten, thankfully. That's the worst. Yeah. Usually when you pour something, it can fall flat on its face, but because D was so punchy and the other ones were so sweet, it actually turned out pretty good. And the nose is really nice too. But it's more sweet. It's more vanillas and honey. The initial palate does feel a bit thinner. But again, two of them are lower proof, so it should. And the spice is just right now. It's not punchy like that. It just comes and it goes. It's mellower, but it's still good. Like, I think that's more in line. Like, now that that's blended together, I could sip on that very easily. Dangerously easily. like with A, and that's a much higher proof. I'm wondering what the proof on this is now. If only I had the machine to do it, but I don't. Oh well. All right, with that, it's 3:15. It's 8:15. We've gone into overtime. Thank you all for being here. I don't like leaving you all hanging, but for streams like this, I like to keep it short and sweet, especially since I haven't had a lot of whiskey in the past week. So the more of it I drink on stream, the worse I'll be, and I don't want to do that yet. I want to take it easy for a minute. In fact, I'm going to cap this. You can all watch me do it, but I will cap the blend so I can see what it comes out like later. Probably tomorrow. Give it a good amount of time, sit, commingle, get friendly with each other. We'll see what happens. With that, don't worry, I'll be back. As always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And I will see you out there. Thank you for joining me on KillCo Whiskey Musings. You can find my social media and Patreon in the links below. Be sure to like,